Hear ye, hear ye. The Clash Royale League in North America begins now. Our first match features two teams in a tangle for the playoffs. 4th-ranked Tribe Gaming against 5th-ranked Team Solo Mid. Hey guys, this one really matters, just so you know.
Two teams that have found their stride late in the season, both with late season additions. All eyes on two men on one side. Tommy from Nicaragua, still undefeated in any situation here at CRL, but the other late add, OP Sam, 5-1 in head-to-head, looking to take down the last undefeated player in CRL. Hello and welcome to the kickoff of Week 8 of Clash Royale League. I'm Rich Slayton. Joining me is Andrew Guy. And today we have a huge one, a lot of playoff implications, all 4 teams in the hunt for Japan.
Yeah, a huge day here in North America, and absolutely huge match for both of them. Tribe really trying to establish themselves and take that 3rd position from Complexity, and Team Solo Mid fighting for their lives to stay in the playoff race.
In fact, a win by Tribe Gaming today would put them all the way in 2nd, which is so huge because that gets a 1st round bye and puts you just 2 wins away from making it all the way to our World Finals.
Absolutely, and the World Finals will be taking place in Tokyo, Japan on December 1st. We'll be there. We're so excited, and you guys can join us. Just go in-game to your news tab and figure out how.
Later today, the top 2 teams in North America face off. It is Cloud9 against Immortals in a battle of the Titans. But right now, a match that is no less important. It's TSM facing off against Tribe Gaming.
Absolutely. Coming out for Tribe today, we've got J Monty, B-Rad, Oxlet, and the newcomer Tommy, who is 10-0 in head-to-head games. Absolutely insane. On the other side of it, we've got TSM's Air Surfer, Vulcan, Firewolf, and OP Sam, also a dominant new addition.
A lot of the talk in CRL, of course, has been focused on Tribe's Tommy and the run he's on coming in at this stage in the season. No less talk about OP Sam and what he's done, and of course, his partnership with one of the best here at Clash Royale League in Vulcan. To give us some insight on today's matchups, Vulcan is sitting down with Christy St. John.
Thanks, guys. Vulcan, the question everyone in the North American League is trying to figure out, how do you prepare for Tommy?
We definitely prepare for him to have a wide variety of decks, so I can't say what we're going to use, but we're playing like safe decks more than just trying to hard counter him.
Gotcha. Now, last time you went up against Tribe, you did win, but you lost in the 2v2, so how have you changed your strategy since then?
Really, our strategy hasn't changed too much. We're just switching up our lineup to be unpredictable.
Switching up your lineup, so you're not playing in the 1v1 today?
Nope. Sam's playing 1v1.
Why is this happening?
Just to be unpredictable, I guess. Mess up their bans.
Interesting. Well, I'm excited to see how it works out.
Yep.
Thanks so much for talking to me. Back to you guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Christy. Wow, that is very exciting. OP Sam versus Tommy in 1v1.
Yeah, I can't believe that Vulcan's taking a step back, but TSM keeping their opponents guessing. Oh my gosh, Rich, I'm so excited.
Of course, Tribe with a chance to jump up the standings. TSM fighting for that number 4 spot in our playoffs. Both squads preparing right now inside the war rooms.
Okay, guys.
We have to win on the
Sit over there. I know we're not used to this side. Okay, this color is not for us. Tribe is red. But okay, guys, we're here to win anyways. So everything we do, it's going to be the same as we were in the other side. Okay, 2v2, we're ready. Tommy, you're ready for 1v1. Let's go. Don't bring this to King on the Hill. Let's go. Let's bring the dub, guys. 3, 2, 1, try win. 3, 2, 1, try win.
Okay, what's the plan, guys?
To win.
TSM on 3. 3, 2, 1. TSM!
2v2 is like watching the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse turn on one another to bring utter chaos, mayhem, and destruction to the kingdom. Pretty cool, huh? J Monty and B-Rad, Vulcan and Air Surfer. Let the 2v2 annihilation begin.
When these squads last met, it was B-Rad's debut in 2v2, and they took the sweep. Today, another debut, Vulcan making his first appearance in this set.
Yeah, Rich, this is crazy. So B-Rad and J Monty coming out for Tribe. This will be J Monty's 12th appearance in the 2v2 set and B-Rad's 6th. Now, Air Surfer, on the other hand, this will be his 11th appearance for TSM, but as you said, Vulcan making his debut, the 1v1 specialist, the head-to-head all-star, going to 2v2, Rich.
Well, this is what they talked about, having more versatility now that they have a 4th player in the lineup. So expressing that here in their 2v2 set. Our card bans, viable for all 3 potential games. Tribe choosing Poison, and TSM getting rid of P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if we're going to see that Lava Hound Miner combination going to be so powerful with these 2 bans implemented.
So, lots of implications for the playoffs here. Of course, TSM fighting for a spot. Tribe looking to shoot all the way up to 2nd.
Okay, let's go.
We are underway. TSM's Vulcan and Air Surfer top of your screen. B-Rad's Tribe's B-Rad and J Monty at the bottom. I was distracted a bit because no surprises here. J Monty dropping as many dabs as is humanly possible in the first 15 seconds.
Yes, I can't imagine how excited J Monty was when he saw that dabbing wizard emoji. It was actually the first thing I thought of when I saw it, Rich.
Yeah, I bet you I know his Halloween costume is already picked out this year.
And very interesting deck compositions here coming from both teams. I mean, a lot of the same for what you expect out of TSM here, but on the bottom, Tribe running something a little bit different. A lot of defensive control capabilities, and then you wonder what the cards we see now, if a Graveyard is going to pop in there as well, or if it's just going to be those Royal Hogs for a win condition.
And a King Tower activation on both sides, so heads up tornado play.
And nothing here on the left. A very, very rough start for Tribe, allowing that Golem. I don't know if it was because they allocated too much Elixir to pull the Golem to King Tower, if they went too hard on offense, but that was a lot of damage to the left-hand lane.
TSM chooses to Golem up again in the back. What do they have here for the Royal Hogs in the right-hand lane? Decent work between the Baby Dragon and the Log.
Yes. Very, very good combination there. The Furnace coming into play. I actually really like seeing the Furnace in 2v2, even though I hate playing against it.
An interesting wrinkle here in 2v2, clogging up the lanes a bit more.
Yeah, a great response to the Royal Hogs. However, their opponent's not playing the Royal Hogs. And another unit just straight to the tower for TSM. The bottom left tower for Tribe is not getting the protection it needs.
And the Prince doesn't get a charge on the right, but still getting some significant damage, a couple of swings, so TSM out to an early lead here.
Yeah, and Tribe just kind of seems to be off kilter here, not playing the defense the way they want. Maybe things just not landing the way they needed early on, and then based off of that, we've always talked about how things kind of compile. Those mistakes compile, and that maybe is what's happening right now.
And given their spell situation, TSM opting to go Golem in the right lane now, not worried about that 494 on the left-hand side. Of course, it will take more than a rocket to drop that tower, so with 40 seconds left, they need to make sure they take care of it, but feeling pretty good about their offensive capabilities right now.
And that rocket could be huge. Not hitting that Mega Minion is going to be a problem, but that Baby Dragon's going to come clean it up pretty quickly. Oh no, wow, see that is what we're talking about. Just the small miss of the Mega Minion there has created such DPS for Tribe stopping that Golem.
But now that Log puts the left-hand tower into rocket range, so their right-hand tower still pretty strong. Fireball's cleaning up Royal Hogs. It looks like TSM will take this without too much difficulty. Of course, they do need to cycle back to that rocket to finish off that left-hand side.
And here it is coming down right now. The rocket to finish the game off. TSM taking this one from Tribe. Tribe very close behind with those spells. And you see a breath of relief coming from Air Surfer, kind of maybe feeling like they got away with one there because of that very early defensive mistake by Tribe.
So talk us through this action here, Andrew.
So we see this is where we got the double Golem push coming in, and this Mega Minion surviving right by the Princess Tower. You see it's got one little nudge of health left. The Electro Wizard comes down to protect it, and that alone creates enough defense to protect that right-hand tower. Now, obviously, Tribe was already behind the 8-ball, if you will, but TSM would have been able to take another tower in that moment.
You know, Andrew, I didn't see the right-hand tower either. I didn't know if it was at 633 within rocket fireball range. That's what Tribe was going for.
I don't believe so. I think it was in the 700s, but let's see if they can bounce back in game number 2.
All right, let's wait to start.
Game number 2 underway. Good lucks from both Vulcan and Air Surfer. No dabs this time from J Monty.
Down to business for J Monty. A lot of communication coming from the tribe side of the battlefield, if you will.
So in the last 2 matches against Counterlogic and Energy, Tribe has lost the 2v2 and relied on Tommy's 1v1 expertise to take them to King of the Hill, where they have gotten the victory. But in this case, with OP Sam waiting in the wings, 2v2 becomes oh so much more important.
Yeah, this is such an interesting and peculiar lineup for TSM. You and I kind of speculating after that little announcement from Vulcan that he was going to be playing in the 2v2 and not the 1v1. You wonder if that's because they want to keep Tommy guessing. There's not as much game tape or game footage out there on Sam, or maybe it's just because Sam and Tommy is just that battle that everyone wants to see.
Beautiful pickup of the Ice Spirit with those guards. They were looking to reset the Inferno Dragon, the guards stopping the Ice Spirit just in time, so Royal Giant stopped before it can get much past the river.
And that Golem is going to be pretty healthy on the tower. You see that NATO getting on, is the word I'm looking for, on deck for J Monty here, deciding whether or not he actually wanted to NATO it to King Tower again, but I think they're just going to lose that tower.
That is a lot coming down the left-hand lane, and it will still also get on King Tower as well. You know, Andrew, one of the thoughts about this lineup change is, of course, Air Surfer and OP Sam have played together in some of these 2v2s as of late, but they've also lost 2 in a row in 2v2. Or we had OP Sam with Firewolf, OP Sam with Air Surfer. A big difference here, Vulcan has been living with and playing with Air Surfer and Firewolf all season.
Yeah.
So from a synergy standpoint, you see heads-up plays like picking up that Ice Spirit to stop the reset, and you wonder if part of that is because these guys are in more sync.
Yeah, and Vulcan is such a cerebral and patient player. You know, it seems like he would be a very nice partner to have in 2v2. Never having an ego, always willing to be the team player, and always playing for the betterment of the squad, never getting too ahead of himself. Because if you're playing 2v2 and your opponent's kind of quick to fire, and he ends up wasting Elixir on an exchange that you weren't really ready to go all in on, you can be really, really in a bad position. So Vulcan's patience, I'm sure, is a big part of why he's coming into 2v2 in CRL in Week 8.
The Double Prince doing a pretty good job of stopping too much from coming down on behalf of that Royal Giant. So right-hand tower now down to 867, and a very healthy Baby Dragon crossing the river. B-Rad and J Monty throwing up the good game. It looks like they know this thing is over. They might try to spell cycle here, but not going to be enough in time. And there we go, Vulcan making his debut in 2v2 in fantastic fashion, taking the sweep.
Yes, absolutely. That would make Vulcan overall 9-3 in sets with a 5-4 King of the Hill record. I am so curious to see how this 1v1 set is going to go now, Rich. We got Tommy going up against OP Sam. Both of these guys have proven that they're some of the best 1v1 competitors in the world. But first, let's take a look at this replay. You see the Golem coming into the tower. You see him clicking on the Tornado in hand, then clicking to the log, trying to figure out which one, and he decides nothing is going to work. Nothing's going to come in time. That Knight charging on the Ice Wizard, making quick work of it, and then you got a lot of units and nothing to defend.
Unbelievable play. Vulcan and Air Surfer so gelling so heavily together, and I would need to double check my statistics here, Andrew, but Vulcan now at 25 total game wins. That's got to be way up there near the top here in North America.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's played so many games and kept his cool so many times and honestly won so many of them. Now the interesting thing is that he's stepping away from the 1v1 position.
And putting his teammate OP Sam in this big spotlight match. And now a little bit less pressure going up against the undefeated Tommy. It is 1v1 Tribe Gaming TSM. Tommy versus OP Sam.
Only weeks ago, 2 new players arrived on the CRL scene, all innocent and doe-eyed, and they both became instant legends, the Nicaraguan ninja Tommy and the mighty OP Sam. Now they have become cruel and hardened, aiming to crush one another in the most epic of 1v1 showdowns. Gentlemen, bring the thunder!
Yes, as you can see, the bad blood spilling out everywhere all over the tunnel. Just harsh words and blows exchanged as they make their way to the tunnel. It is chaos here, Andrew.
Yes, absolutely. And these two are ready to go to battle. Tommy is 10-0 in head-to-head games, never seeing defeat here in CRL. And of course, his opponent, OP Sam, also no slouch himself at 5-1 in head-to-head. Only seeing defeat once, guys. This is going to be an absolutely insane matchup.
Of course, two of the calmest, most serene players here. No harsh words exchanged. They let their playing do the talking. Looking at our ban cards for this 1v1 set, Tribe Gaming getting rid of Royal Hogs, TSM eliminating Fireball.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting these two out of the way, eliminating Royal Hogs from the equation takes us back a few months into the meta. I am so excited to see what is about to happen.
1v1, OP Sam, Tommy, you want it, you got it. Game number 1. Here we go.
Will Tommy take his first ever defeat here at CRL at the hands of OP Sam, who has only been beaten once and never lost a 1v1, or excuse me, a King of the Hill?
So making his 1v1 debut, he has been in 2v2 so far because, of course, you have Vulcan, one of the best heads-up players here in CRL North America. And Tommy potentially showing the Three Musketeers Royal Hogs?
Regular Hog,
Regular
probably.
Hog. Oh, yes, Royal Hogs are banned, of course. And there you go. Regular Hog Rider out. So we will see how this deck stacks up against OP Sam.
Who could be running a Golem deck with a Flying Machine, would be interesting. That Tombstone, though, is going to be a tough thing for Tommy to break through with his Hog Rider. Most likely wanting to keep that in cycle on the field or in hand at all times. A Lava Hound coming out, maybe Lava Loon. Big push here on the right side. That Hog Rider getting through almost untouched.
Really fascinating matchup here. A lot of damage.
3 big hits from that Hog Rider and 4 Elixir at the hands of Sam.
And dropping the Hunter a little bit far back to get the full force of those shots.
Yep, and getting that Ice Golem down, needing to protect that Hunter and picking up those Lava Pups. Great defense by Tommy, and this is what he does. Very, very, very good at playing very efficiently.
So you get the idea there that he put that Hunter off a little bit so that he would have room for the protection and not worried about those Lava Hound hits on that left-hand side.
Exactly. It just, all of it was thought out so well. And we were told by Tommy the way that he's gotten to be where he's at CRL 10-1 is because he's never found a comfort deck, Rich. He's always played every single deck out there, gotten good with all of them.
Allow me to just to correct that just a tiny bit, 10-0. Let's not give him a loss too early.
Oh, did I say 10-1? I apologize. And Sam actually getting a great amount of damage in on that right side tower.
But letting that Musketeer on the left-hand side, so Sam sure does have some damage on the right-hand side, but how does he deal with this Hog and the dual lane pressure of Tommy paying off so far fairly early, but 15 seconds left. Will Tommy have time to get one of these towers down?
Wow. And he's recognizing now with that zap coming in on top of the Hog Rider, it's stopping that last hit. He will not be able to take this first game, and TSM's bench is electric. Tommy letting that slip through his fingers.
There you go. So, you know, maybe you were just being predictive there. Tommy taking his first game loss against OP Sam.
Wow, that was crazy. And it honestly looked like he was in great position for the whole time, getting a lot of damage on both of those towers. But here's the thing, we've all been there where you split damage just a hair too much throughout the game, and all of a sudden, you're looking at an excellent position in a 2-tower game, but you can't take the first tower. And right now you see this balloon sneaking in from OP Sam, Tommy not having anything to respond with, the Flying Machine cleaning up all those guards, and that is tower down, and that zap coming in from OP Sam to stop that Hog Rider hit was everything.
And not having Fireball maybe making a huge difference here. That Hog Rider with some Fireball support probably would have got that tower down, pushed the Mega Minion off. A very different composition in moments like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see what's going to happen here in game number 2. Will Tommy get his second loss?
And Tommy's Hog Rider everyone know how he felt about that last game.
Let him down. All right, so Baby Dragon, immediately we think the Graveyard deck. It could obviously still be that Golem Beatdown deck, but we've seen this Graveyard deck be so powerful, and NATO is still in play.
Now, is it possible that OP Sam is going with the OP deck once more?
That's definitely a possibility. You know, we've heard him talk so much about everyone else using his deck but him.
Oh, here we go, little wrinkle coming down with the Barb Hut.
That Royal Ghost is going to demand a bit of a response, or going to get a hit in.
That's a frustrating zap, though, to drop that and just not realize that it's gonna get one more shot on because of its invisible form.
Oh, and that Mega Minion, a great placement by Sam with that Magic Archer. Just such patient plays and really heads-up plays.
And then on top of that, the Barbarians from the hut tanking for both the Barbarian hut itself and for the tower. So at the moment, every single thing falling in OP Sam's direction.
Yeah, that Barbarian hut really a pain to deal with because it just demands you to respond with Elixir. Barbs have a decent amount of health. You can't just let them walk down the lane. And Tommy here having a lot of trouble figuring out how to break through. And a clone spell, or excuse me, a mirror spell.
Very interesting selection with the mirror.
That is crazy.
Have we seen mirror yet in
I
CRL?
mean, this is the thing about maybe why TSM put OP Sam in this position. He created a deck that's become one of the most popular in the game over the last few weeks, and now maybe once again bringing mirror back into the meta. Barbarian Hut, mirror, Rascals, what is this?
Okay, for those of you who don't know, the mirror for one extra elixir puts the same card you just played on the board and at one higher level. So that's why you saw a level 10, I couldn't remember if it was Rascals or Magic Archer.
Yeah, 10.
I was so confused about seeing a mirror that I didn't even believe it for half a second.
And this poison coming, I love that we're in week 8. You just had to describe a card because we've never seen it here before at CRL. And a great poison coming down for Tommy. This is such a fascinating matchup between these two teams.
Well, mirror is a card that you see a lot in ladder and usually in ridiculous decks that don't make any sense, that you're typically happy to beat and frustrated to lose to. But here, one of the best in the world, pulling out mirror in the biggest moment of the season.
Watch his last spell be a heal, and we just know nothing.
Please don't be a heal.
Yeah, just don't. He just like mirrors the Three Musketeers and heals them for the win. That would just be the greatest thing I've ever seen.
So we are now in sudden death overtime, and OP Sam out to a lead, and there we go, level 10 Musketeers in the back.
Yeah, this is so interesting. We've never seen level 10 cards here at CRL because no one's ever used the mirror. That's the only way to gain the level, and now we've got a massive dual lane push coming from OP Sam. A great amount of defense, though, so far by Tommy. I mean, I'd expect nothing less from him.
He does get 4 shots for those 2, so the poison making it look like it might be a little bit of an overcommittal there, but those 4 shots doing a ton of damage, so now both towers for Tommy under 1,000. OP Sam, just, if we see this in the meta next week, I am going to lose my mind.
And there's another mirror spell on the Barbarian Hut. One in the front, one in the back, and now that Golem is running into its worst nightmare, a ton of Barbarians.
And a Magic Archer in the back, gets a few shots on tower, does not complete its job.
And now you got to expect, I was going to say that poison is probably going to come down for Tommy right now, cleaning all this up, and Sam in an interesting position, but able to defend because the poison's out of cycle. 3 Musketeers down in 1 lane.
And that Royal Ghost now going to make a beeline for that Tombstone in the middle and clear it out of the way. We are now 1 minute and 20 down in sudden death overtime. And that poison gonna stop those 3 Musketeers from getting to tower, so that's a big moment here.
Wow.
The poison, the log, this is bananas. You saw it here first. Mirror, Barbarian Hut, 3 Musketeers takes the day. OP Sam rewrites the meta once again and gets a huge victory. Dethrones Tommy, takes out Tribe, and moves TSM into serious playoff contention.
What did I just see, Rich? I am speechless. So is Tribe. Sam just gets up and smiles. He's like, yep, didn't see that coming, did you? No, no one saw it coming. No one saw Barbarian Hut mirror Rascals deck with 3 Musketeers, and oh my god, did it work? TSM Air Surfer Vulcan, Firewolf, and OP Sam taking the win today over Tribe, and Tommy getting swept in 1v1.
So you gotta wonder if that Fireball ban was a big part of that deck working. So one thing about playing the decks you see here at CRL is there are ban cards.
Absolutely.
So you go take those into a challenge of sorts, and you suddenly discover the deck is nowhere near as good. So I want to ask about that Fireball ban later, if that build makes this deck way better.
Oh, 100%, Rich. Look, Fireball the Magic Archer, Fireball the Barbarian Hut, Fireball the Rascals. All of these things are Fireball bait and Fireball value. Fireball the Three Musketeers. That's huge value right there, but they're staying alive because the poison's got to tick down. So you got to think that Fireball ban was huge.
I mean, this is just absolutely bananas.
I'm speechless. Like, I don't really know what I just saw. I don't really know how that deck just worked. I don't know why I saw a mirror and it won. There's so many things that make no sense, but one thing that does is that Sam is a master deck crafter. Do not run into this man on the ladder in grand challenges.
You saw a mirror here. It worked fantastically. So who else do we talk to? Christy St. John. Let's please get some insight from OP Sam.
Thanks, guys. So many questions. First of all, I mean, you took the sweep in your 1v1 debut. How's it feel?
Obviously amazing. It was a very important match for us. Like, we still have a chance for playoffs if we win our next 2 games, and if Tribe loses one more, we just had to win.
And the other question everyone's asking, what is up with that Barbarian Hut mirror deck?
I copied the deck from Thunderstruck, a player. I lost to him once. That's why I was just copying it, because it was so frustrating to play against it, and it works. It's a really good deck, and yeah.
So tell me, did the Fireball ban have any effect on you playing that deck?
Yes, obviously he can't Fireball my Three Musketeers. He has to poison it, and my Three Musketeers will kill the Golem while the poison is on them, so just more effective. That's why I banned Fireball.
Very effective play, great win. Thanks for talking to me, man. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. So the Fireball ban playing a big role, and a big shout out, OP Sam giving Thunderstruck credit for an annoying deck that he said, you know what, if you're gonna do the stop, I'm not touching you, I'll do it to somebody else. And this is a big win for TSM and an important loss for Tribe.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, join them. Hopping into the standings here, Tribe Gaming with the loss over Team Solo Mid, or 2 Team Solo Mid. Team Solo Mid at 6-6 now, Tribe at 7-5. Still within striking distance, still trying to get into that spot, but a huge win today for TSM.
A massive one, and of course, that playoff picture, we'll talk about that later at the end of the day, but we're not done yet, guys. We just saw an amazing match between Tribe and TSM, and next up, it's the top of the standings. Cloud9 facing off against Immortals.
Attention princesses, princes, giants, and goblins. Take your seats. It is time for the main event. A battle for the ages. A showdown between the 2 top teams in North America. It's number 1, Cloud9, against number 2, Immortals. Gentlemen, show us who belongs at the top.
When these 2 teams met earlier in the season, it came down to King of the Hill, and it was Wings running the table, taking out all 3 members of Immortals' squad, giving them a very important win now at this stage. Across from him, the duo Crap and the God RF took the L last time, but they want a big win here to secure their spot at number 1 in North America. Our second match of the day features the 2 top teams in North America. Immortals has been number 1. Cloud9 is number 1. This might play a big role in how our playoff picture unfolds.
I am so excited to get into this match, guys. For Cloud9 coming out today, we got Baron, CMQ, Wings, and Trainer Chris, their opponents in second place. Crap, the God RF, Royal, and oh yeah, looking to steal away that very top spot.
2 top teams battling it out for the number 1 spot, hoping for a chance to go all the way across the world to Japan. Both squads very well coached. Of course, Cloud9 has Coach Eric, their manager Ian, and Trainer Luis on the side of Immortals leading his squad to this point. To hear what he has in store for Cloud9, let's go sit down with Trainer Luis and Christy St. John.
Thanks, guys. So, Trainer Luis, stakes are high. Tell me, how does your team respond to the pressure?
I think the guys are handling it pretty well. I actually think that as far as the team goes and pressure, I think I'm the one that's like a little bit more nervous. This is probably the first time in the season where I've seriously been nervous. It's such a high stakes game against the best team in North America. I actually think like Cloud9 and us are the best teams in the world right now. Like I genuinely believe that there's no other team that can consistently beat the both of us. But honestly, if we win today, I think it's going to set the tone for the rest of the season and for the playoffs. And I confidently believe that if we win today, you're going to see us all in Japan.
Whew. Fighting words. Well, thanks so much for talking to me. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. As if the stakes weren't high enough, Trainer Luis saying right now, if they win today, you will see them in Tokyo. So big words, can he back it up? Let's go inside the war rooms to see how these squads prepare for what is essentially the biggest match of the regular season.
Let's go, boys.
Make some room.
All right, this is like their last chance at first place, honestly. So the pressure's on them. Let's use that against them. If you have a bad matchup, just play passively because they have pressure and they're gonna make a mistake, hopefully. So just keep playing passively until that does happen, and then take advantage of it. We prepped. We know what they like to play. They play the same lineup. So let's just go out there and play our game.
Listen, boys, it's pretty simple today. We're playing the best team in the league, and I need you to. Honestly, I'm never really worried when you guys play the 2v2s. Like I'm super confident in you guys.
Really?
It's just a matter of making sure what happened last week doesn't happen again, right?
Yep.
Focus on that. Hopefully not getting too king of the hill. Let's get that 2-0 sweep so we can get the tiebreaker to our advantage, okay? Let's do it, boys.
We've got the top 2 teams in North America ready for battle. They've got 4 CRL All-Stars primed for a 2v2 showdown. C. McHugh and Beren, R-Crap and the God RF. It doesn't get much better than this. On to the arena.
A rematch of epic proportions, this time taking place at the top of the standings. Last time out, it was Cloud9 taking the 2v2 set. This time, Immortals looking to even things up.
Yeah, despite their early struggles with 2v2, Cloud9 has bounced back. Beren and C. McHugh coming out today for the #1 team. This squad has found success in 2v2, and that's part of why they're at the very top. And their opponents, Crap and the God RF, this will be their 12th set together, overall 7-4.
The card bands active for all of our potential 3-game set. Miner and Tornado.
I do absolutely love the Miner ban. He is so powerful. He provides so much utility and tankage. The Tornado ban, very, very standard since day one, Rich.
We've seen a lot happen so far in 2v2, a lot between these two teams. And this, again, I can't say enough. It's the big one. Who wants it more? And here we go. Immortals, Crap and the God RF, top of your screen. C. McHugh and Beren for Cloud9 at the bottom.
Up top, we got Crap and the God RF, who've had a lot of success in 2v2. They've been working together for a very, very long time. And as I said before, Cloud9 struggling a bit at the beginning of the season with their 2v2 sets, hitting their rhythm. Now the reason why they are in that first place position. So excited to see what these 2v2 squads bring out today.
Yeah, the first 4 matches for Cloud9 did not win a 2v2 set. Finally, in week number 4, got a victory over TSM in that set, and then won over Immortals. So looking to continue along that path of success.
We see the Royal Giants in both of the players' hands. However, the God RF leaking a decent amount of Elixir there. It looked like he leaked about 3 Elixir. Kind of surprising, honestly.
Interesting also putting your Royal Giant push from behind the King Tower as well.
Yeah, they have a heavy deck. I mean, if you looked at his hand, it appeared he only had the Inferno Dragon, Royal Giant, Giant Skelly, and then one of those 2 spells. So definitely not wanting to cycle out a Fireball or an Inferno Dragon. Never wanting to leak Elixir, though.
Very curious play here from Immortals early, choosing to allow that Inferno Dragon to continue uncontested for a long time.
Yeah, almost a little too close for comfort, but that Giant Skelly getting pulled to the opposite lane, I don't think either team really saw that coming.
So we'll see, does this switch up where the play happens? And Immortals ready to put that Royal Giant behind their skeleton.
Yeah, and that Inferno Drag getting on the Mega Minion creates a space for this Royal Giant to get a few hits in a great moment of turning that Giant Skelly, who just kind of had a mind of his own, into an incredible offensive push for Immortals.
And that Death Bomb clearing out a lot as well. So down to 703 is the left-hand tower of Immortals as we enter double elixir time.
Yeah, really taking lemons and making lemonade out of that situation. It wasn't even a bad situation to be in, but them turning it into that big of an offensive push was just really good for them in single elixir.
And going double Golem on the right-hand lane, so all in for Cloud9. A lot to invest. This push better work out.
So we see 2 Golems going to go towards that cannon, ideally going to get the guards and the Magic Archer down to do some additional damage there, but how are they going to chunk through this second Golem before he gets on the tower?
Well, left-hand tower down for Cloud9, so they are playing from behind. 21 seconds left. Do not know if they have the ability to close this tower down before this game ends.
And Immortals opting to allow the Golem to get through, then cleaning up the additional DPS troops behind it, knowing that the Golem does some damage but not a ton, is going to take this very first game. And I'll be honest with you, Rich, I have a feeling it has a lot to do with that very first Giant Skeleton getting so much value and working his way down the opposite lane.
And there we go, game number 1 for Immortals, although no celebrating yet from the bench of the squad. This is so tense. I do not think we will see them relax until the final second ticks away of this match.
And you see the elixir here of both teams. You got about 6 elixir in the hands of both players from Cloud9. They're dropping all of it down the Witch, the Mega Minion, and the Inferno Dragon. However, that lightning coming in, coupled with the explosion of the Giant Skelly Bomb, just leaves that Royal Giant to go to town on that tower, getting a ton of shots in.
And that Inferno Dragon already targeted on the Mega Minion.
Yeah.
The lightning damaging it, resetting it, and keeping it on the same Mega Minion. So much going the way of Immortals in game number 1. 1 in hand, looking to close out game number 2 and get one back. Game number 2 underway, and you know, there's been some commentary about whether Immortals keeping the exact same lineup makes them predictable, but it also, on the other hand, makes Awcrap and the God RF work with such fantastic synergy.
Yeah, I mean, you look at another team that's stuck with 2 of their best players the whole time in Complexity, also in the top 3. Colton and Razor have been in basically every single one of their 2v2 sets. They've lost a couple, they've won most. And look, once you figure out who your best 2v2 players are, who your best 1v1 player is, if you have the opportunity to keep your opponents guessing, you can. But if you can just win with the same duo, why change it up?
Now, this is fascinating, Andrew. It's Cloud9 choosing to go with that 2.6 variation, the double 2.6 variation.
I'm trying to decide whether or not I think that second fireball was worth. They had 2 ice spirits that they could have maybe distracted that flying machine with after the first fireball went down. They're going to be okay because there's not a big push coming from Immortals, but maybe just a little more than they needed to spend.
First minute away, and it is Cloud9 out to the lead. No damage on their towers, and they've done some on both sides.
I bet you wish they had that fireball right now, Rich.
Although going with double Musketeer, and from a defensive standpoint, having 2 of those down consistently, you know, they'll be able to cycle back to that very quickly over and over again.
Yeah, I was looking at CMQ's hand in the beginning, and actually Baron's now as well. They both have very quick cycles here. It looks like Hog Rider is going to be the win condition in one hand.
I think I've seen Hog Rider from both. I have to see the cycle go all the way through again. It does look like that double 2.6 variation.
Yes, exactly. We've seen that a couple of times here in 2v2. It's not exactly the 2.6 variation. Oh, wow, and that Inferno Drag is on the tower with nothing to oh, the Ice Spirit's coming in just in time.
The Ice Spirit, a good resetting card, but the damage has been done. Suddenly it goes from Cloud9 being significantly in the lead to tower down, and their other one already down to halfway.
I cannot give enough praise to the flying machine. I hate playing against it. I hate playing against it. I love playing with it. And you can see right there getting just enough tankage from the Lava Hound, getting so much damage in. And again, a wonderful fireball coming in from Cloud9.
Not quite enough to stop that big damage push on the right-hand side, but the E-Wiz does force Cloud9 to spend a little bit more on the right. So the question is, how will they defend here on the left? And can Immortals push to that right-hand tower as effectively as they did on the left-hand side?
So what's going to happen here, Rich, probably is that Cloud9 is going to be able to steal that tower on the right with a fireball, but they're going to waste a good amount of elixir doing it. Not waste, but use, and then now they're going to have nothing to defend against this big push coming in. This is something that we see a lot in 2v2. Exactly, so now we're already within another spell.
And tower's going to go down. That will be it.
And Immortals with the quick 2 up and 2 down. And I'm assuming we're going to see our boy Royal stepping into 1v1, Rich.
Wow, just the way Crap and the God RF have showed their maturity here in 2v2. They've been calm, they've been focused, they've worked very, very hard, and it's paid off in huge dividends for their squad.
I love the use of that word, maturity, especially coming from 2 young athletes, these guys who also have a lot of fun. I mean, they're known as kind of like the bad boys, the BMers, the guys that have, you know, maybe they joke around a little bit too much, but you see them in action, in battle, in this 2v2 set, not celebrating after the first win, keeping it together, playing excellent offense and heads-up defense here. You see this last push coming in. They knew exactly what Cloud9 was going to do. They had to take that tower with the fireball. So what do? Let them have the tower, put together a huge push, and these 2 18 and 16-year-olds are dominating and moving on to that 1v1 set.
And it was, interestingly enough, Crap and the God RF who had first planned to run a double 2.6 variation. Trina Louise telling me secretly they had planned on it a long time ago. Might have been the first time these 2 squads met, in fact. I'm trying to remember. But they ended up not doing so, but means they were prepared to go against a deck like that.
Yes.
And what preparation do they have here for 1v1? This might be, and we keep saying this over and over again because it keeps being true, one of the biggest head-to-head matches of the season. It's Royal against Wings.
Immortals and Cloud9, the pinnacle of North America. Royal and Wings, the pinnacle of pro players. 1v1, the pinnacle of Clash Royale. By the way, the pinnacle means the best, okay? Time for the best of the best to battle in the arena.
What an unbelievable moment to see these 2 players come face to face. So much on the line and so much skill behind both of these head-to-head specialists.
Absolutely, Rich. I could not be more thrilled for what we're about to see. Wings coming out for Cloud9. He is 1-0 in 1v1 sets. But he's 9-2 in King of the Hill. No slouch to head-to-head play here. And Royal on the other side is 9-2 in 1v1 sets with an overall head-to-head record of 22-10. Both coaches of both teams hailing their opponents as maybe the best in North America.
Taking a look at the ban cards for all of our potential 3 games here in 1v1. Tornado and Royal opting to go with the same ban he used last time against Cloud9. It's the P.E.K.K.A.
And that is no coincidence, Rich. Both of these teams exactly deciding these bans for a reason and then both predicting their opponent's bans.
1v1 for everything right now. Game number 1, Immortals Royal top of your screen, Cloud9 Wings at the bottom. And as I said before, Andrew, last time in 1v1, Royal also banned P.E.K.K.A. against CMQ and opened up running a giant double Prince that ran right through CMC's Graveyard Furnace deck.
Very interesting. And CMC is one of the few players that we've seen in CRL use that Expo deck effectively. Very curious to see what Wings is going to be bringing out today.
Both players just doing some light cycling here in the opening seconds.
A lot of possibilities with these 2, or I guess 6 cards being played now. And it looks like Royal opting to go very off. Oh, wow. Man, and that is not what Wings wanted to see. Now Royal is very happy to eat all that damage on the left-hand side. And he's got a decent push coming here on the right. However, that Hunter from Wings doing a great amount of work for him defensively, and now we're separated by 1 HP, Rich.
So Wings showing 3 Musketeers, Royal Hog early, and Royal opting to go high Golem, and you're thinking that's a really high, crazy Golem to use against what appears to be a Royal Hogs deck. And there you go, we've talked about it before, we'll talk about it again. The Fire Spirits being a really cheap and effective counter to a Royal Hog push.
Yeah, so now Royal essentially has a 2 elixir counter to 4 Royal Hogs coming down at a 5 elixir cost. And now if Wings tries to split right here, he's going to drop his Tombstone and the Fire Spirits, ideally if he needs to, but the Mega Minion already being there, he's not going to have to. But you'll see now he can pull all those Royal Hogs to the center and kill them all for an even trade.
Although the Fire Spirits do have a little shorter, a little longer upload time compared to a Fireball. So when we do have the split situation, the Fire Spirits not quite as effective as when we're getting down a Fireball in that same spot.
Yes, absolutely. And you get getting all pulled to the center by that Tombstone. It is easier to hit all 4 with the Fireball.
So Royal playing almost uncharacteristically aggressive, but so far it seems like he's making some good choices, although he is significantly down here against Wings. This giant push, Golem push, excuse me, getting on tower though.
Yeah, that Hunter is doing such a great job for Wings. Now Royal, recognizing what's going on, is going to push into the same lane. Royal is notorious for being able to adjust throughout the game, and he recognizes now, I might have only 1,100 damage on that right-hand tower, but I've got 1,900 damage on my right-hand tower, so I need to push into the left lane and make something happen.
But he cannot afford to make any mistakes here against Wings, who plays so clean and crisp all the time. You can see right now, already putting significant pressure on both lanes, so Royal has to be careful. Wings, again, 9-2 in a higher pressure situation, King of the Hill, and with that 11-3 overall head-to-head win rate, there's a reason he's earned those numbers.
Yeah, it's crazy. Wings, a player that's actually spent most of his CRL season in the 2v2 sets not having success at 3-5, has been a savior when getting to King of the Hill at 9-2. So again, knowing that today is against Vulcan, it's very interesting to see who Cloud9 put in that position to take him down.
Well, remember, it was Wings who swept all of Immortal last time these two squads faced off.
I meant Royal, excuse me, not Vulcan. And now you see Royal is basically gotten this. He's a zap and a poison away from taking the game. Obviously doesn't want to get too aggressive, but you've got to applaud him for making that late game adjustment and switching towers.
That's the problem with Fire Spirits, though, is you can see how they got eaten up by that Royal Ghost. They do just have a little bit of an issue sometimes. No matter here, though, Royal getting the game under control and getting revenge on Wings for taking him out in King of the Hill the last time these two squads met.
Yeah, incredible play by Royal. Very, very calm. He talked to me a lot before the game about how important it is for him to keep calm, saying he must do anything necessary to stay calm. And you see this Hunter doing a great amount of work. Fireball coming in for Wings, also doing a very good job defensively. He's got 2 Hunters on the field, but he just doesn't have enough to stop Royal here. And Royal recognizing it, keeping up the pressure. Baby Dragon getting on tower, and now we are a poison and a zap away.
So huge. So we are now, kind of surprisingly to a certain degree, 1 game away from a straight 4-game sweep by Immortals on Cloud9. This is I can't say it enough times, this is a huge moment. Royal stepping up once again.
And Rich, I feel you. It's very hard to form sentences when you're as excited as we are. I mean, we were talking about this matchup all day long. We talked about it this last weekend. We've just been dying to see this. And this is the great thing about the season kind of coming to an end, is so many of these upcoming matches have so much weight to them. And again, both coaches talking about trying to keep their players calm coming into this high-pressure match.
It's not just high pressure because of the stakes. It's also one of those ones where you know who you're up against.
Yeah.
Royal knows he's against Wings, who has been so dangerous and really has only faltered 3 times total in head-to-head play. And Wings knows how good Royal is, not just here at CRL, but taking #2 on ladder last season. Just an unbelievable player.
Yeah, and you heard him talk about that ladder push. He's like, there was 9 hours left, and I realized I could make a push. I was doing okay, but I was a little tilted, so I decided to double down. Next thing you know, you're #2 in the world. And this is that deck that we've heard so many players talk about. Misfits talked about it earlier today. This new, or not new, but this excellent graveyard deck, Cannon Cart coming back into the meta essentially just because it provides a little bit more range and speed than the Prince. Going to be very interesting going against this giant Miner Poison deck.
Very curious to see how this plays out. Wings does have the guards and the poison, two pretty solid responses to a graveyard drop.
Absolutely, and he's also got the log to drop in just a tad after they start to spawn. Don't ever want to drop that log too early when you're defending against a graveyard.
Wings has run Giant Miner Poison against Immortals before, the final game of King of the Hill, beating Crap's Miner Balloon deck. And in that case, he defended the balloon perfectly and finished things off for a 3-crown.
Yeah, and Royal has run a Graveyard Barbarian Barrel Ice Wizard deck before. Now, we're not seeing the Ice Wizard right now, and you got to imagine those Fire Spirits are in response to what could have been a Royal Hogs push. Very interesting deck building here from Royal.
They do make this deck a little bit faster than that Ice Wiz NATO deck, which is still very quick on its own.
Yeah, and this deck with the Tombstone and the Inferno Dragon already has such great defensive capabilities. You can probably imagine why they went for a little bit more of a direct defensive counter than just another Ice Wizard.
So, about halfway through double elixir time, and for the moment, things are fairly even, but now with that connection and no response, that Inferno Dragon chewing up that left-hand tower.
Wow, and guys, we are now so close to a Immortals sweep over #1 Cloud9.
And that Barbarian Barrel, I don't think people give enough credit to how important that Barbarian pop is from a distraction defensive standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can kite a unit backwards. You can, as we saw earlier today against a Hog and Goblin Barrel push or combo, you can take both out with 2 elixir response. A truly amazing card, especially watching these pros use it.
So a lot of defense at the river to deal with this giant push and then forcing the graveyard and poison on tower. Royal continuing to play like he's trying to prove something here at CRL.
And an absurd amount of value coming out of that Inferno Dragon. It's somehow still alive. Wings having to drop another Mega Minion to try to take it out. Now the poison comes down on the tower. Now he doesn't have a poison to defend against the graveyard. And that's the kind of desperate play that you have to make in these moments. But Royal's going to recognize it. You know he's going to go hard. The guards are now out of cycle, so he can wait and poison and then send in a graveyard late.
And that Tombstone, a little bit too far, is not pulling the Giant.
It's because it was focused on that cannon cart, that broken down cannon cart for a second, but this Barbarian coming through. Wow, yeah, that was almost a very unfortunate interaction for Royal.
This time the poison does come down on defense, but with Royal's poison coming down, that's going to be it. Here we go. It is one skeleton. No, we are now still, just a little bit further away, calling it maybe a second too early. Royal going to cycle back to his poison as quickly as possible, throwing out the early dab.
And the bench of Immortals is dying over this last 15 seconds, just waiting for that clock to tick down. And now he got so much on the tower. My goodness, Royal keeping it all together. The 4-game sweep over Cloud9 for #1.
I think if you listen very carefully, you can hear the celebration of Immortals in just their heart rate finally slowing down. No explosion, no big moment, just a sigh of relief, the most important test of their season passed.
I don't think they can believe how, not easy, but how quickly this came and went. These guys 4 up and 4 down, asserting dominance in 2v2 and 1v1. The God RF, Crap, and Royal doing all for their team, Immortals. And now, the young ones have gotten themselves to the top of the standings, Rich.
And here we go on the left-hand side, Andrew, and this Inferno Dragon changed everything.
Yeah, those guards not making it there in time to get in front of the Princess Tower. You see the log coming down. I don't know if it's to cycle or what, but that Inferno Dragon getting the sizzle and pop on that tower, and now you see the Royal Hog with the helmet, the dab from the Wizard, and the poison ticking down. Wait, no.
So nerve-wracking. I think this is why we didn't see much of a celebration, just a sigh of relief, because that 15 HP, we've seen things like that happen so many times. And look, there's a question of who's the best in North America. Is it Royal? Is it Tommy? Is it Vulcan? There are so many guys who are making their case for it, but Royal, seriously unbelievable play. But of course, Immortals isn't just their 1v1 specialist. Their 2v2 squad has done such a big part to get them to this point. So let's go to Christy St. John, who's going to have some questions for their 2v2 specialist, or at least half of it.
Yes.
Crap.
Thanks, guys. Crap, a clean sweep. I mean, tell me about that moment at the end. No celebration, just relief?
Yeah, I mean, that's Cloud9. They're easily one of the best teams in the league. We have so much respect for them as people and players. And honestly, just getting that win, even though it was like a clean 2-0-2-0, I mean, it was still, like, we never counted them out. So getting that win just felt incredible for us.
And you had the pressure going first in the 2v2. Tell me how you felt going into that match.
Well, I mean, again, like going against CMC and Baron, I mean, they're just incredible players. So we were definitely nervous, but we had prepared a lot. We had good decks ready. We knew it would throw them off of the minor ban, and we played really, really well. I think that was our best game all season. And
talking to trainer Luis, you have a lot to do with building of 2v2 decks. He sings your praises. So tell me, how do you do it?
You know, honestly, it has a lot to do with the players. Like, we know CMC, arguably one of the best minor players in the world. Baron, also arguably one of the best minor players in the world. So we wanted to just take that away from them, and we figured it would definitely catch them off guard. And with the recent balance changes with RG, we wanted to do double RG, because if they had like one tower, we wouldn't be able to get through without like a minor. So we thought like a second RG would do the trick, and obviously it did. And just balancing our decks, and it worked really well.
Amazing deck building, amazing gameplay. Congrats on the win. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Christy. And after today, a double 4-game sweep, just up and down all the way through. Kind of some big shockers here, and that means big fallout for our standings.
Absolutely. How the mighty have fallen today. We hop into the standings. We look here. We see Cloud9 falling to Immortals. Immortals taking that #1 spot. And earlier today, Team Solo Mid beating Tribe Gaming. Now, they didn't take their position, but they are that much closer to getting in those top 4 spots. And Tribe has a very tough, next couple matches coming up.
Yeah, Tribe has Complexity and then Immortals back-to-back, so tall order. Team Solomid opening the door for a possibility to make their way into playoffs. And that playoff picture, of course, so important. The number 3 and 4 teams, which right now would be Complexity and Tribe playing round #1. The winner of that would face, if things stay the same, Cloud9 in round 2. The winner of that facing our current #1. Again, if things stay the same, in Immortals, and all that for a shot at the World Finals.
Absolutely, and those World Finals will be taking place December 1st in Tokyo, Japan. That's right, Tokyo, Japan. Rich and I will be there. Go to your news tab in-game and find out how you can as well.
And don't forget to hit subscribe on the Clash Royale Esports YouTube page and ring that bell for all notifications. Go to esports.clashroyale.com to follow along our standings at home. And of course, there is the Esports tab in your Clash Royale app when you take a break from running Barb Hut Mirror 3 Musketeers, I guess. Who knows what you're putting out there, but I know when we'll be back, and that is Thursday, October 11th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for more North American action. 100 Thieves versus TSM, Complexity versus Energy. Both squads trying to solidify their spot, their shot at the World Finals. For Andrew Guy, I'm Rich Slayton. We cannot wait to see you back here on Thursday in the arena.
And so ends yet another phenomenal day in the Clash Royale League. As the CRL season heads down the home stretch and the playoffs draw near, you can feel the heat turning up. Actually, can someone turn the AC up a bit, just a little? I'm really sweating over here. So many questions still to answer. Who will make the top 4 in North America? Who will earn a trip to Tokyo to battle in the World Finals? Only one way to find out. Subscribe to the Clash Royale Esports channel. Watch and remember, always get your lava hounds spayed and neutered. We cannot have any more lava pups running around burning down the kingdom, please.